Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Nyx, and in this space, we explore the energetic and cosmic patterns moving through our lives so we can navigate them with more awareness, more intention, and a whole lot more self-trust. So today, I'm going to be talking about Gemini season. Now, if you've been following me since the beginning, since I started back during Capricorn season, then you already know we've been on a journey, a real one. Not the one that you plan, but the kind that happens to you and through you, whether you're ready or not, right? Now, Capricorn season grounded you, Aquarius expanded you, Pisces softened and cleared you, Aries lit that fire under your ass and got things in motion, and Taurus asked you to slow down, get precise, and build with intention. And now here comes Gemini. So, Gemini season, bless its heart, does not come in soft. It comes in fast. It comes in loud. It comes in with 17 different tabs open and something to say about all of them, essentially. But underneath all of that, like mental energy, underneath the buzz, underneath the movement, and that rapid fire everything that Gemini season tends to bring, there's like this one question that's sitting at the center of all of it. And that is, what is the story you are telling yourself? Because after everything that we've moved through, all the grounding, all the clearing, all the activating and the building, Gemini season is now going to surface the narrative somehow. The inner dialogue, the voice in your head that either confirms your vision or quietly talks you out of it. So before we dive any deeper, let's just take a breath. So slowly breathe in for me and breathe out. Now I open this space with the intention that whatever comes through today serves the highest good of everybody listening. May it bring clarity to the mind, honesty to the heart, and movement where it's needed the most. Take another breath in and exhale one more time. Nice. Alrighty, so let's first talk about the archetype of Gemini. Now, Gemini is the third sign of the zodiac, ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, thought, and information, health fitting for Gemini, right? And it's symbolized by the twins. And that symbol isn't just about duality of personality, it's about the conversation happening inside your head, the two voices, the two perspectives, the ongoing inner dialogue between who you are and who you are becoming, so to speak, right? Now that's Gemini's domain, the mind. And at its core, Gemini is the messenger, the journalist, the eternal student. This archetype is endlessly curious, endlessly hungry for information, and has an almost supernatural ability to take complex ideas and translate it into something accessible, digestible, shareable. Gemini is the bridge between the idea and the world that needs to hear it, right? A quality to Gemini that doesn't often get talked about is that it's the witness, okay? Gemini has this rare capacity to observe from multiple angles simultaneously, to hold two opposing viewpoints without needing to collapse them into one, to see a situation from the outside while also being fully in it. Like that's a gift, a genuinely rare one. So if you have Gemini in your chart, you know what I'm talking about, right? And if you're Gemini, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Now, Gemini's shadow. So when Gemini's energy is unbalanced, the same capacity for multiple perspectives becomes indecision. That same agile mind that can hold everything becomes a mind that can't land anywhere. That restlessness that makes Gemini brilliant can also make it scattered, chasing the next idea before the current one has a chance to root. And like the shadow of the inner dialogue, when it's misdirected, that voice doesn't witness, it narrates, it gossips, it spins stories, often the same ones that on loop, until what started as maybe fear becomes a belief, and what started as belief becomes reality. I'd say that's probably the shadow of this Gemini season. Not the chaos outside, the chaos in here. So the medicine of this season isn't just thinking more, it's thinking better. It's listening to distinguish between the voice of your higher self and the voice of your wounds, between the story that's building you and the story that's maybe keeping you small, right? Now, Gemini governs the throat chakra, the center of the voice, expression, and truth. And this season, what you're saying to yourself matters just as much as what you're saying to the world. So choose your narrative carefully, okay? Now, let's talk about the cosmic climate during Gemini season because there is a lot of energy, as always, moving right now, and some of it has been building for years. Yeah, some of it's been building for a long time. Let me just grab my laptop and then we'll get right into it. Okay. My computer wants to move slow. Okay, there we go. I think. Where are we? All right, so mute. Okay, so the headline of Gemini season, and honestly, for the next several years, is the fact that Uranus is entering Gemini. Now, Uranus is a planet of disruption, awakening, innovation, and sudden unexpected change, right? And it has just moved out of Taurus, where it spent the last 7 years shaking up everything related to the material world, the body, finances, and stability. And now it's moved on to Gemini. So, what that means collectively, the disruption is shifting from what we have to what we think, from the material to the mental, from the body to the mind, from the ground beneath our feet to the information moving within our heads. Sorry. For the next several years, the way we communicate, the way we learn, the way information travels through society, all of this is entering a period of like rapid, unexpected, and irreversible change. Okay, technology, media, the stories we collectively tell, and the way these ideas are spread. We are entering a different kind of world. A lot of us have already been feeling this happening. And Gemini season this year, 2026, is the opening chapter to this shift. Okay. Now, just before we fully step into the season, we did have a new moon that took place in Taurus on the 16th of May, sitting right at the threshold between Taurus and Gemini energy. The new moon was an invitation to plant one final seed of intention in that slow, grounded, embodied Taurus soil before the pace picks back up. If you set an intention around that time, beautiful, hold it, because Gemini season is about to put some wind behind it, okay? Then on the 31st of May, we have a full moon in Sagittarius. And this one, I'd say it's pretty, like, it's worth paying attention to. Now, full moons are moments of illumination, right? Of completion, of things coming to the surface and being released. So when a full moon lands in Sagittarius, the sign of truth, belief systems, philosophy, and like the bigger picture, sitting directly opposite Gemini in the sun, it creates a very specific tension. So where Gemini gathers information, Sagittarius seeks the meaning to all that information, right? And the full moon is going to ask you directly, are you consuming information or are you finding wisdom in it? Are you filling your mind or are you feeding your soul? Are you telling yourself a story or are you living a truth? I'd say that is like a powerful moment of reckoning this mid-season. So pay attention to what surfaces around that time, okay? On the 25th, we have Mars in Taurus, which squares Pluto in Aquarius. And this is going to bring some heat. Okay, it's going to bring some heat. This is a high pressure aspect. Power dynamics feel more charged. Tension that's been simmering in relationships, in work situations, in your own inner world may come to a head, right? This isn't an aspect to react from, though. It's an aspect to be conscious in. Feel it, yes, but don't let it make decisions for you, okay? And then there's going to be a breath of sweetness that comes on June 9th when Venus conjuncts Jupiter in Cancer. After some intensity, this aspect brings expansion in love, in connection, in emotional abundance. Something opens, something feels good, so let it. Now, underneath all of this, Pluto stationed retrograde on May 6th in Aquarius, and it will be there until roughly October 15th. So that's 5 months, okay? So what this means is Pluto has been moving through Aquarius, transforming collective systems, power structures, technology, the way we understand community and progress. That's been happening externally, visibly, and oftentimes chaotically. But when Pluto goes retrograde, all of that external transformation turns inward. Okay, it stops being something that's happening out there in the world and becomes something that's happening inside of you. It's the subconscious, it's the stories, again, the stories that you've normalized, in the power dynamics that you've accepted, in the patterns you've told yourself you've healed but maybe haven't fully done so. So when you layer Pluto retrograde in Aquarius on top of Gemini season, that's already asking you to examine your inner narrative. What you get is a season that is not playing around, okay, when it comes to the mental and the emotional deep clean. This isn't surface level work. And if you're here, you're okay with that. You're okay not doing surface level work. You're okay going in a little bit deeper. This is the universe asking you to go into those rooms that you've kept locked and turn those lights on, okay? So with all that said, let's get into the cards. Alrighty, so with all that as our backdrop, let's move into the cards and see what guidance wants to come through collectively for Gemini season. Now, as always, please remember this is just a collective reading, so please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Trust your own intuition as you look and listen. And if any message moves through you and you feel compelled to share, please do so in the comments. I love hearing your feedback, and you never know, something that may move through you may be exactly what somebody else needs to hear. Now, I just want to go through the layout really quickly. The first row here speaks to the internal landscape, the deeper energetic themes that we're navigating beneath the surface, okay? The second row here is going to speak to the energies that may begin showing up in our day-to-day physical reality. And then the third row, which I'm going to pull from this deck here, this is going to speak to the spiritual layer, the guidance and support available to us as we move through Gemini season. And then lastly, I'm going to be pulling from this deck for the integration card, where everything lands into something that we may actually be able to work with during Gemini season. So with that said, let's turn these cards over and get started. All right, of course. So right out the gate, we've got the Divine Matrix, and I don't think that there could be a more fitting card to open up Gemini season's reading with. When I think about Gemini, when I think about the archetype, when I think about the energy, I always describe the energy like a computer with 1,001 tabs open all at once. And then, of course, the Divine Matrix comes out first. So when you look at the imagery here, right, we've got this golden halo with what looks like hieroglyphics etched into it, right? And you see this second golden halo on the inside, and inside of that, you see this like golden sphere with like this crisscross pattern in it. And then I could just see this energy just swirling about, moving, alive with momentum in there. So there's so much happening in this space already. Now, just near the front at the bottom, there's this image of a digital head, and it looks like it's looking down, almost like all of this golden encased swirling cosmic activity. It's happening inside the mind, right? Now, around all of it, you've got the flowers, purples, pinks, you've got golden orbs floating about. There's so much beauty sitting right alongside all of this complexity. So what I'm getting immediately is that we're going in this season, not just outward into the world with all of our ideas and our plans and our communication, but inward into the matrix of our own mind, into the story that's been running quietly in the background, shaping what we believe is possible without us even realizing it. We're not separate from what we've been trying to create, okay? Everything we desire, everything we've been working towards through all of these seasons, it's already connected to us. It exists within the vast living web of life, this divine matrix. Even the things we haven't seen yet are a part of it. But they do stay dormant until we choose them, okay? Until we believe them into motion. I think a lot of us right now are struggling to do that because the outside world is very loud, it's uncertain, it's honestly often genuinely scary. And when the outside world doesn't feel trustworthy, it becomes very hard to trust the inside world too. We stop trusting our instincts, we stop trusting the signs, we start quietly wondering if what we're building, if what we're working towards is even working. And that mistrust can create a loop. So what I'm hearing with this card is Gemini season is asking you to interrupt that loop, to go into your own matrix, into your own mind, into your inner world here, into your story, and get really honest about what is actually running in there. What are you telling yourself, and whose voice is actually saying it? And next up, we have seeing beyond. Again, I'm drawn to the imagery here. We've got the third eye that's lit up, and there's like this circular orb in there with a star smack dab in the center of it. And then you look at the colors, right? You've got the purples, you've got the indigos. That's intuition, that's divine wisdom, that's something trying to reach you and trying to flow through you. And then here you've got one eye with a star right in it, and the other one without it. So this kind of brings into question, what story are you choosing to see? This card feels like a direct continuation from what we just came through in the divine matrix. Okay, we're going into the mind, and now we're being asked to look at what we're actually focusing on in there. What lens are we currently using? What are we allowing ourselves to see before we do the filtering out? Okay, you're being asked to see beyond right now. So see beyond your fears, see beyond your limitations, see beyond the resistance, the hesitance, the stories that the hard moments have written about you and your life or situation. Okay, now I heard something earlier this week, and I haven't really been able to shake it. And honestly, it is rejection is protection. Nothing I haven't heard before, something I'm pretty sure some of you, if not all of you, have heard in one way or another. But for some reason, it's landing differently this time with me. I think we misread rejection almost every single time it happens. We take it as evidence, as confirmation that we're not enough, that what we want isn't available to us, that maybe we should stop reaching, etc., etc. But what if it's not a door closing? What if it's a redirect? What if it's the universe saying, not that, not that one. Something better is being arranged, right? Reality is tangible, but it's also full of illusions, full of lessons that don't always arrive with a clear label on them. So, what I'm feeling with this card here is essentially to stop letting the obstacles write your story. Stop letting the pivots and the setbacks and the no's become the evidence you build your belief system on. Get into your thoughts, get clear on not only what you've actually been telling yourself, but also the story you're choosing to anchor into, and then get out of your own way. Okay? Because the mind is always the final boss. Actions can be taken when the energy isn't fully there yet, but the mental, that's where it gets real. That's where Gemini season is taking us. And the star in one eye, but not the other, is asking you directly, which story are you choosing to look through? Oh, sorry. Okay, so third up, we've got the Oracle's Gift. We're definitely in the mind space, okay? Okay, so when you look at this image, you see this teacup sitting on what looks like a bed of feathers. Inside the cup, again, you have this another golden circle, and rising from the center of it, you have got these branches. Reaching upward and outward into expansion, into the ethers, into something beyond the individual mind, okay? Now, I'm also seeing something in the feathers here. It kind of looks like a face. It looks like an owl to me. So if you know anything about owls, they're about wisdom, the sight beyond what's visible, the capacity to see clearly in the dark. Okay, so this card kind of feels like a confirmation of everything that we've been moving through in the entire first row. Now, oracles. Oracles receive signs, right? They hear a lyric in a song, they understand it as a message. They open a book to a random page and find exactly what they need. They see a number sequence and they feel the confirmation in their chest before their mind catches up. They notice things other people tend to just walk right past. So I'm hearing that that's you. That capacity, the gift of the oracle already lives in you. You have been asking for signs. Most of us have. We ask our guides, our ancestors, the universe, God, whatever we believe in. Please show me this so I know it's real. Show me that so I know I'm on the right track. This, that, and the third, right? And the signs come, they always come. But are you letting yourself actually see them? Or when they arrive, do you immediately question them? Do you tell yourself it's probably a coincidence? Do you dismiss the thing that you just felt in your body? Even when the signs do come and you do recognize them, are you taking the time to sit with them? To let them be layered and textured and complex? Or are you immediately deciding what they mean before you actually gave yourself the chance to listen? Okay. Oracles don't receive messages in a straight line. Every sign has depth, every symbol has more than one layer depending on the season you're in. So, what I'm feeling with this card specifically as we close out the first row, the answer you're looking for is it's already there. It's in the story you're telling yourself, it's in your capacity to see beyond the surface. Of your current reality, it's in the intuitive knowing that you keep second guessing. So get into your head this season, don't dwell, sort through the noise, figure out what you're aligned to versus what you should be aligned to. The oracle within you already knows, so trust it, okay? Now, second row here, we've got, all right, so the energy shifts here. It shifts because where the first row was very deep and internal, asking a lot of hard questions, this card comes in and goes, yeah, and also good things are coming, yay. So what I'm getting with the coins is that for some of you, this Gemini season is going to look and feel like things are finally starting to move in your favor, like luck, real, tangible, unexpected luck has or is showing up at your door. Right place, right time energy. Opportunities arriving that you didn't see coming, things opening up to you that you wanted but maybe didn't think that you were quite ready for or deserving of. Okay, so to anyone manifesting in this energy, please don't just do affirmations. Don't just write intentions down and nod at them. Actually get into the feeling of it, because you already have a vision of what you want your life to look and feel like. So let yourself actually feel it. Let it become real inside your body and take some type of action before you expect it to become real in your reality, okay? Abundance responds to energy, okay? Again, I say abundance responds to energy. The story you're telling yourself either opens the channel or it closes it, and this card is saying the channel is open right now. And just one more thing that I'm getting here. If you start seeing coins, random coins on the ground, on the chair, somewhere that they shouldn't be, pay attention to that. That's kind of Spirit's way of saying, we're here, you're not alone in this, keep going. Luck doesn't always announce itself loudly, okay? Sometimes it leaves a coin where you'll find it, okay? Rainbows. All right, so I love this card. I know I've pulled this card before, and I think I spoke to how much I love this card, but I do love this card because I love rainbows. Rainbows always make me feel something. So what I'm feeling right now is this season is going to test some of you. It's going to test your faith, your hope, your belief in what you're building, the choices you're making, and the actions you're taking, love. Whether you're scared to keep going, whether you're too tired to try one more time, this card is asking you, how badly do you want it, okay? There is something in all of us that knows, even in the middle of uncertainty, even when the evidence hasn't arrived yet, there is this quiet part of you that knows you are capable, that knows you have what it takes. That's the part within you that is worth protecting. Now, joy is not a reward when things get better. Play is not something you earn after the hard work is done. Those things are a part of how you stay in the energy to receive. They keep the frequency up. They keep the hope alive, right? They keep you in the game. So make time for it now. Paint something, move your body for the pure fun of it. Laugh louder than feels appropriate. Let your inner child have a full moment. Go on a swing if you want to find one. Go roll in the mud with your dog for all I care. I don't know, just do something fun and wild and crazy, okay? And trust that the rainbow doesn't appear before the rain. It appears because of it. You're still here. Trust me, that means something very real, okay? Mm-hmm. Next, we have the heart. Now, no, this is not just about love, okay? I mean, it can be, but it's so much bigger than that. So what I'm feeling immediately with this card here is that how love moves through you this season, okay? Towards you, towards other people, towards your work, towards your vision, is directly tied to the story running in your mind. So if you're in a relationship and you're questioning it, what story are you telling yourself about that person? What and about the possibilities between you two, about whether you even deserve something that actually feels good. And if it's not about another person, if you're the one struggling to love you right now, what parts of yourself are you deciding are unworthy of that love? What narrative is quietly running underneath that, keeping you from extending to yourself what you'd offer someone you actually care about? And if it's about the work, the thing that you're building, the vision that you're holding, do you still love it? Is the fire still there? Or has the story you've been telling yourself about whether it's working started to quietly put that fire out? Because love in every form, okay, it expands when it feels safe, and it constricts when it feels neglected or questioned or abandoned. And the way you move through the mental landscape of this season is going to affect all of that. So the question isn't just what do I want? It's what am I telling myself about whether I'm allowed to have it, okay? See, those. Coming in a few seconds. Ooh, I am Almost knocked the camera over again. I feel like I do this every single time I record. All right, so we've got transformation. So we have the butterfly. I feel like in every reading, in some form, through whatever deck I'm using, some form of transformation shows up. I used to wonder if it was a repetitive message because I was glitching, my energy channels were glitching, but I honestly don't think so anymore. I think it's consistent because we're always moving through some type of cycle. We're always somewhere within a cycle, right? Always between like the caterpillar, the chrysalis, and the butterfly, always becoming something. So with this card right now, especially in this season, it's the transformation that's being asked of you. The transformation that's being asked of you is in the mental, okay? The story you tell yourself is literally transforming your reality. It's not a metaphor, it's how this works. So if your story is rotten, and I mean really look at it honestly, transform it. Start telling yourself something that you can actually believe, something that matches the version of you that's been doing the work, okay? And if your story is already good, make it bigger, ridiculously bigger. Make it so expansive that even if you look at it and think, wait, can I like actually dream this big? Yes. Yes, you can. We all can. So pay attention. What I want you to do is I want you to pay attention to what happens in your body when you let yourself go there. When you actually let yourself think big, okay? Feel big, envision big. Notice what moves through your chest, your spine, your gut, because that's aliveness. That's not delusion. That's alignment. That's your energy saying, yes, more of that, please. And when the harder stuff comes to surface, because it will, pay attention to that too. Notice where in your body that lives, because that's where the energy is stuck. And stuck energy isn't broken energy, it's just energy that needs love, movement, and a little honesty. Spirit is saying here, the mind is transforming, okay, so let it happen. And then just one more from this deck. I got cards flying everywhere. Here we go. Okay, we've got affluence. Okay, so I want to just be careful here because it would be so easy to look at this card and think, okay, yeah, money. Yes, we love money, right? Yes, that's a potential. But what I'm also actually feeling is a little bit or much bigger than that. So the imagery here is sacred geometry, right? A Hindu Tantra symbol, I believe that this one is. This is ancient, this is layered, and what's coming through is wealth in all forms is available to you right now. Not just financial, but abundance in your mental landscape, richness in your connections, overflow in your creativity, resources seen and unseen, becoming accessible as you do the inner work this season is asking for. So what you've lived through up until this point does not determine what comes next, okay? Your past does not write your future. Your previous failures, your previous versions of yourself, the chapters that were hard and heavy and long, they don't get to vote on what's coming. Your choices do, your actions do. What you mentally anchor into does, okay? So celebrate the milestones, even the tiny ones. Enjoy the progress, even when it's smaller than you expected. Let yourself receive what's already arriving, because I think some of us are so used to things being hard that when something good comes in, we don't fully let it land. Let it land, okay? This card feels like Spirit saying, you asked for this, now open your hand so you can receive it, okay? Now, okay, we'll go with, of course, of all the cards that flipped over and fell on the ground, I picked up mindfulness. So Gemini season, an air sign, a mental season, a season asking you to go into the mind, sort through the stories, examine the narratives, trust the intuition, and then the integration card, of course, comes out and says, be present. Now, the universe has a sense of humor here, and I'm here for it. But I think what actually makes complete sense is this card is actually really important for this reading. You can't transform what you're not willing to witness, right? You cannot witness what you keep running from. And mindfulness in this context, for this reading, it's not just about breathing exercise. It's not just about wellness trends. This card is asking you to be present in your own mind, not letting your thoughts spiral and then act like they have authority over your entire life, but also not forcing yourself into fake positivity and pretending that the hard stuff isn't there, okay? It's about understanding your thoughts instead of being controlled by them, studying them, asking, where did this come from? Is this actually mine? Is it true? Is this the voice I want leading me right now? That's actually a really good question. Personally, when I'm not in a good place, and I have those seasons too, my mind is a war zone. Genuinely, it's probably the most dangerous place I can sit in. And the uncomfortable truth is that I'm so comfortable in there, not because it feels good, but because I'm so familiar with it. I know every single corner of my darkness. I've spent so much time in it. And I think a lot of us are still toggling the line between things are getting better and why am I still sitting in this shit? Between the light days and the heavy ones. And I want to say this clearly as possible, that toggling is not failure, that it is just what being human actually feels like. It's not one side or the other permanently. It moves, it shifts, it cycles, right? But what changes everything is how we relate to what's happening in our minds, whether we judge it or witness it, whether we let the dark thoughts convince us that they're permanent truth, or whether we watch them move through without handing them the keys, okay? Both light and the shadow in our minds serve us. Both are designed to grow us. One with weight, one with less weight, one with sunshine, one with a few stars in the sky. Neither one is here to stop us. They're both here to shape us. So be present in this season. Be in your mind with yourself, not against yourself. That's where the real work lives, okay? And that's where the real transformation begins, okay? So we're gonna pull, I'm gonna pull this so the mic is not too loud. I'm gonna pull one more message and then I'm gonna let you go. All right, so, I said, it's not all about breath work, but we are being called into breath work. So use breath to help you get into your mind, okay? Return to your breath and reconnect with the bigger picture of your life. Practice intentional breath work 3 times a week, 5 minutes, no excuses. Use your breath to clear your mental noise so you can see your next move clearly. Clarity is built in the lungs and steady focus. If you guys need help with any of that, just go on my YouTube channel. I got a bunch of stuff in there that'll help you with breath work, okay? And meditation, stuff like that. So if we step back and look at the full picture of everything, okay, of what came through, Gemini season is not here to scatter you. It's here to clarify you. After all the grounding, the clearing, the activating, and the building of the seasons that came before, Gemini is now holding up a mirror to the mind, okay, to the inner dialogue, to the story that's been running quietly underneath all of your movement. The cosmos and the cards have confirmed it. It's asking, is this story true? Is this story yours? And is it the one that is going to carry you where you actually want to go? Because the divine matrix of your mind is not your enemy. Your capacity to see beyond what's in front of you is not wishful thinking. Your intuition, the signs you keep receiving, the oracle within you already knows that it's not a delusion. It is your compass. So this season, get into your mind with intention, sort through the noise, transform the stories that are keeping you small, trust the ones that make you feel alive. Again, trust the stories that make you feel alive. Follow the signs, open to the abundance that's already in motion. And when it gets heavy, because Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is doing the deep underworld work all season long, come back to presence, come back to breath. Okay, come back to the one thing that still has light in it. You are not behind or broken or late. I promise you, you are a mind in transformation. And that is one of the most powerful things a human being can be. With that said, happy birthday to my brilliant, curious, endlessly fascinating Gemini out there. May we all borrow a little of your genius this season. And I'm so sorry for all the mechanical stuff. I hope it gave you a good laugh. I'll see you beautiful souls next time. Bye.